Can you
Um,
do like your daily "Hey everyone, hey bot"?
all right, let's do it again. All right, everyone, and welcome to week 3 of Game Development Club. Um, we kind of we're already kind of split up and stuff, so I'm just going over how to um make a Unity project. I'm gonna go through it again for the recording. To make a Unity project, go to the top right of the Unity hub and make a new project. We're going to be using a Unity 2D, so make the 2D built-in render pipeline. The funny thing about Unity is that the 2D and the 3D are basically the same, but when you select either one, you can it'll change some settings for you. But you can honestly just make a 3D project, a 2D project, and a 2D project, a 3D project. It'll just take a few more steps. But to make it simpler for us, we're going to be 2D. Rename your project to something that you want. Put in a location that you know you'll see, you know you'll be able to find. Even make a new folder for your project, for all Unity projects, and disconnect it from the Unity cloud. We don't want it to be on Unity cloud. Yeah. After you guys have loaded your Unity project, have it opened up like this. Say it in the chat, and we'll begin. Just give me like a thumbs up or something. It'll take a little bit because it's your first time loading a Unity project, so it'll open up little libraries and stuff. It'll take a little bit. All right, it's open. We got one person, two. Okay, that's two. It's taking a long time. Yeah, I know. It'll take a little bit. Well, it's all right though. We got three people. Four, five. Let's wait till. Actually, I don't know how many people are here. Three, four. This was like 15. Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. Got 9 people. We'll go till 10. Actually, it's all right. One more person. Isn't even the eighth done. That's crazy. The restart. Okay. Sorry. Yep. Anybody else? I'll give it like 6:15. Let me make this full screen. What is your project setup? Kind of looks like this, right? Yeah. Make it look more like it's already open. Oh, so that if it says already open, that basically means it's kind of like sort of running in the background. It's just being really slow. Is all it's saying. You won't see it, but like it's open in the background. Just give it like a few minutes. Hmm. Yeah, you could also could use Task Manager. Mine's looks. Oh, Saif, you're done as well. Didn't see that. I think that's 10 people then. All right, cool. I'll start. All right, so a lot of different stuff going on here. A lot of windows. Looks kind of menacing, but let's get through it. All right. It's simple once I put it. I'll lay it all out for you. Let me delete these because you probably don't have these open yet. Okay, so first let's look at this top row over here. There's going to be two main windows here: the scene window and the game window. Basically, the game window is what's shown as your final product. So, like basically what the camera sees, what the player will see when they play the game. The scene is like the behind the scenes. It's like where you edit all the parts of your game, everything. Right? This is where we're gonna be working. This is where we're gonna be playing the game. In the game scene is where you're gonna be, you know, tampering and adjusting and doing all that sort of stuff. In the game scene, you got a few settings up here. You got the game. We got display. Display just counts for different cameras. All the other displays are going to be black because there's nothing there. So let's just stick to display one. You can make different displays with different cameras, but we're not going to be covering that unless there's a certain effect I want to go for. Then we will. Everybody should set their aspect ratio to 16:9. 16:9 is like the Windows aspect ratio. 16:10 is Mac. 1920 by 2080. That's also 16:9 basically. It's like 16 times blank and 9 times blank. I forgot what the numbers were exactly though. Someone do the math for me. Um, but yeah. So set it 16:9. I don't like free aspect because free aspect seems too loose for me. I like a rigid screen, you know? So I think most people are gonna be on free aspect right now, but switch it to 16:9. Um Scale is just like a zoom in feature. This doesn't actually affect how zoomed in the game looks when you export it. It's just if you want to zoom in by yourself. I'm setting it to the regular one. Play focus. So when you play focus, it's going to be focused on it, as in like everything's going to turn darker. So if I press the play button up here, which oh yeah, up here is the play button. This is the pause button. It'll pause the game, and this is like the step button. So this will step basically every single frame of the game. So I press the step button, it'll go up one frame, one frame, one frame. So if I have it paused and then I press the step button, it'll go through frame by frame. It's really nice for debugging stuff and seeing where exactly stuff goes wrong, you know? But yeah. When I press the play button, you'll see in focus mode everything will kind of go dark. That means that you're in the game you're playing it. Maximized, if we set to maximized, it's going to maximize the whole game view like this. And unfocus is like the same as focus, but it doesn't darken the stuff around it. So I'm gonna keep it focused for now, so we can get a focus on all the other aspects of this. So those are the two main windows we're gonna be talking about. Asset Store is mainly for downloading stuff on the Unity Asset Store. It's useful for like certain stuff, but I'm not gonna be touching it right now. Not for the basics. All right. Okay. Cool. Let's go over these two windows on the left and right hand side. So the hierarchy is basically the list of game objects in your scene. And we'll cover game objects in a moment. And the inspector is basically what it shows all the components on your game objects. Which I guess it doesn't really make much sense to right now. So let me show you. So go to your hierarchy and we're gonna create a new game object. Game objects are essentially what comprises the entire game. Everything in your scene is a game object. The player is a game object. The background elements are a game object. The grass is a game object. The sky is probably a skybox, not really a game object, but everything is a game object. So yeah, like for example, the camera here is a game object, and in the inspector you can see its components, the transform and the camera. All right, so let's start off by making a basic game object here. Let's do that. So to make a new empty game object, right click inside of your hierarchy and create empty. Right? Everybody do that. I just see what just happened. All right, let me go through it again. We're gonna create an empty game object right now. So to do that, go to your hierarchy, which is where the list of all the game objects in the scene are. Right click and create an empty. This is in the scene view, by the way. You can see up here. That's where we edit all the game stuff, remember? Your project finally opened. All right. I guess give you guys. Does anyone you need to go through how to make a game object again, or you good? Yes, please. Jaden, could you like go through with them? Just tell them how to do it. I need to continue. Or Jaden, like the instructor, Jaden. Not the Jaden in the chat. All right. So every game object has must have this component. This component is the transform. The transform basically holds the position, the rotation, and the scale. Components are basically what define a game object. So like the game examples of components can be like the sprite renderer, which will render the image of the game object. Like let's say the rigid body, which will dictate the physics that are on the game object, all that sort of stuff. And we'll get to know all of those as we go on. For now, the main component that every single game object has is called the transform. It holds the position, the rotation, and the scale. Let's rename this game object real quick. Call him. Last year I think we went with Bob. This year let's go with let's go with guys, give me a name. Give me a name. Jared. Alright. Is that how you spell Jared? Isn't Jared with an A like this? There you go, Jared. Jard. Jord. Alright. Brandon, you're clicking. You have to click inside the empty space of the game object, like over here, to get the empty game object. Okay, yeah. So on our empty game object, we have the position, the rotation, and the scale. Okay, what I'm going to have you guys do first is make sure to center this game object right here. 0, 0, 0. Think of this whole plane. Actually, it kind of actually already looks like a coordinate plane, right? Because of the huge grid here. So this literally is kind of like a coordinate plane. Like if I go 1 here, it's going to go 1 unit this way. If I go up 1, it's going to go 1 unit that way. It's kind of there already, right? Just move it more exactly right there. Yeah, it's basically 1 1. I can move it. It's at 1 1 right now. Also, since we're all in 2D, make sure all your game objects except the camera are have a Z position of 0. Z is basically like the 3D perspective. I'm gonna show you guys something really cool. Don't. So I'm gonna go in 3D for a second. You guys shouldn't go into 3D because it's kind of hard to navigate. You don't know what you're doing. But yeah, this is 3D. So the 3D perspective. This is the Z right here. This the blue arrow is the Z, but in 2D we're only messing with the green and the red arrows, which are X and Y positions. Don't talk. So to make sure all your game objects except the camera are Z0. Because let's say for example, see how the camera's at negative 10Z. If I put my game object like at like negative 19Z, you see like this huge rectangle that the camera is like showing us. The game object is outside of that, so it won't render in our scene. So we want to make sure to always have the Z for all our game objects at 0. This is something that everybody always gets confused. I'm sure all of you will mess this up once. You'll see the importance of always having in 2D, always having your game objects set at Z0. All right. Cool. All right. So I do want to show rotation and scale, but we do need to have some sort of representation for it, because right now this is just basically a blank dot. Not even a dot. There's nothing even being shown here, right? It's just an empty game object. All it has is a position value, a rotation value, a scale value. Nothing is shown for it, right? So let's add some components to it. So to add a component, click this funny button right here. Let me just make sure you guys can see the add component. Can you guys see the add component in here? This whole thing? Yeah? Cool. Last year you guys couldn't see it. Yeah. So to add, let's say an image here, we're gonna add a sprite renderer to this, all right? Sprite renderer. Here. And this basically will render a sprite or an image. for us. Sprite means image, by the way, if you didn't know. All right, but how are we going to render a sprite if we don't even have a sprite to render? So, let's make a sprite right now. So I'm going to direct you to another window here, which is called the project window. The project window is basically like a glorified Finder window. It's like a Finder window or File Explorer window, just for your Unity project. This is like exactly what it looks like inside of your file explorer on your computer, but it's just put inside of Unity, so you can have all the assets here for you to choose. And there's literally an assets folder inside your project folder. It's just showing you what this is. So let's make a new game object. Not a new game. Sorry, not a game object. Let's make a new sprite. So Unity comes with a few preset sprites that we can use. So we're gonna right click inside the assets folder right here, instead of project, and then we're gonna go. There's a lot of options here. We're gonna go all the way up to create. There's even more options now, and then we're gonna go to where is it? Sprites. Oh, we're gonna go 2D. They changed it in 2022. We're gonna go 2D and we're gonna go to sprites. All right, I'm gonna stick here for a little bit, just so you guys can take this in. Create, up there to 2D, sprites, and then square. Right? Hello, everybody. Why no circle? For our purposes today, square is gonna be more appropriate to use for like certain tools. I'll show you guys. Hashtag free circle. All right. Now we have the square. Click the square button. Enter it. Here's our funny little square. These are all the optimization settings. We're going to go over optimization once we actually have our own sprites in here. I can't read that many words. There's so many words on the screen. Yeah. What about the default cube? Cubes are 3D though. We want a square because we're working in 2D, right? Everybody cool with that? The square? All right, once we have the square, we're going to go to Jared. And you see how there's a sprite here in the sprite field, right? Okay, I want everybody to pay attention to me here, because this is a part that lots of people don't really understand at first of how to like put stuff in fields. I remember from last year. So make sure you guys are paying attention here, all right? So to put stuff in fields, basically what you do, there's two methods. You could either click this circle here at the end, and you can like see every single type of sprite in your entire, asset folder, or you could just drag the square in like to the field area, and it'll turn blue, and then you can put it in. Right? So does everybody hear that? So everybody have the square in here? All right, cool. All right, once you have the square in there, let's go over all the fun sit-ins. Okay. So now I'm gonna introduce you guys to this cool little thing I made up in my first year. It's a fun little acronym thing. Well, not really an acronym, it's just like a bunch of like letters. Let me show you guys. Just give me a second. Here we go. Okay. This is called the QWERTY, or the QWERTY. The QWERTY is basically a huge list of all the different tools you got inside of Unity. It doesn't really look like this anymore because we're in 2022's version, so it's actually going to be this little bar on the side here. If you guys see this, it's the exact same thing. It just they moved it. It used to be on like the top leftish, now it's over here. But yeah, it's not the same keybinds, I'm pretty sure, so it should be good. All right, let's go through all of them. Oh, also, by the way, this is actually a pretty good thing to link. If you guys go to the slides channel in the Discord and scroll up a bit, you'll see Olivier sent a Unity dictionary thing. This is kind of like what's being covered in the first meeting, so it's cool. Okay, so let's go over all the keybinds and stuff. All right, so Q is our move tool. Basically, how we move the scene around us. I don't usually use Q. I use my right click. So Q and right click do the same thing. If you hold down right click, you'll also move the scene around as well. This is just moving your view of the scene, not actually moving everything in the scene. By the way, you can also hold down. I think it's Alt. Oh yeah, it was Alt. You can hold down Alt as well, or Option key on your Mac, to do this as well. So you have three options. You have the Q button. You have right click, and you have Alt to move around your scene. W is really nice. I use W like a ton. Like probably the key I use the most. W is the movement. So there's other ways to move it, but here's my main version of moving. So you can either move it solely on the y-axis or solely on the x-axis. It's perfect for being really precise with where you want to put your game objects. Or if you want to free move it, click the square in the middle and you can move it wherever you want. Cool stuff, right? So you don't always have to use the transform thing up here to center it and stuff. Up, down, left, right. I use this ton, all right? So I'm gonna be like subconsciously moving through all these keys, so make sure you guys remember these, all right? I'll try to say like, oh, I'm pressing the W key here for the first few meetings, but eventually I'm gonna stop saying that because it's kind of like second nature once you get used to it, right? Yeah, this is the W key. Last key was Q. This is W key. W to move objects. My preferred way of moving objects. You can either move them on the y-axis, x-axis, or free movement with the blue square in the middle. Right. That's pretty self-explanatory. Let's move on to E. E is the rotation. There's lots of cool circles here. Let's go over all of them, huh? All right. So here we go. So the circle on the outside is the movement is the rotation on the z-axis. Which is kind of funny. I told you guys not to touch the z, right? But I'm talking about the z rotation axis, not the z's position axis. Z rotation axis is just going to be like this. It allows you to basically like what we think about when we think of rotation, as like a 2D sprite would rotate, right? But remember, you need a 3D program, right? So basically, we can actually move it. We can rotate it in 3D as well. So we can use like this thing on the X, or I guess for rotation wise, it's gonna be movement. It's gonna be rotation on the y-axis because if you think about it, like if it's rotating like this, it's kind of rotating. Let me make this for you guys to see. It's rotating along the y-axis, right? Basically, rotating along. It's rotating along the y-axis, so it's gonna be rotation in the y-axis, even though it's kind of moving horizontally, right? You guys are most of you I think are freshmen, so you guys probably didn't cover that geometry, but yeah. And then for rotation along the x-axis horizontally, you guys can do it here. You guys can use the red line here. If you see it in 3D, it's just moving it like this, right? $23,000 aura for moving a 2D object through the z-axis. No, you gotta keep it. You gotta keep it on 0. Don't put it through the z-axis. The blue circle does the same thing as like the golden circle. I don't know why they have the blue circle here. To be honest, it does the same exact thing. Okay, cool. The rotation's covered. I think it makes sense. Yes. Ready to move on? Any questions? Yes. All right. What if you said your z is 0.00001? I mean, I wouldn't. I think. I mean, okay, I just did it right now, and it seems fine. But just to be safe, I always set everything to 0 because you never know what what it might be. 0 is just a good number to have. It's always going to be in the camera's range of view in 2D, so I keep it at 0. All right, cool. We're gonna meet in person. I'm hoping to have our Ultra Kill meeting in person actually this month sometime. We're gonna announce that soon. So stay tuned. All right, let's move on. So we had an A. Let's move on to R. So R is our scale. So R is kind of like, remember, this kind of is the same setup as our W key, right? W is on the position, up, down, left, right, like this, like that as well. You can move them up, down on the y-axis for scale with the green one. Red one will move it horizontally on the X scale. You can also move them up here with the transform. It's basically a handy tool to do that for you. Scaling a 2D object on the z-axis probably won't even do anything. Yeah, actually, it won't do anything at all. It only really works for 3D objects. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. As it is 2D, right? So the z-axis doesn't exist for it at all. Right? But yeah. Cool stuff. Oh yeah, and also the square in the middle can scale up the entire thing. Cool stuff. Pretty simple. That's R. R is for scale. W is for position. E is for rotation. W is for position. E is for rotation. R is for scale. Got it? You can use for the camera too. If you want to scale the camera up, like if you want to scale the view of the camera, you would actually increase the size thing over here on the camera component on the camera. Increase the size to increase the view of it. The scale won't do anything. Scale just increases the game object size, but not the actual view of the camera. Cool, cool. Okay, let's continue. If T is funny. T I mostly use in the UI, but it also can be useful for some other parts. T is basically like a rectangle tool. So you can scale like a rectangle. That's why we're using a rectangle, a square here, not a circle. It just makes more sense for this tool, right? But yeah. Rectangle right here. Up, down. You can do the corners and the edges. Nice. But yeah, and it's like a handy way to just get like more rectangular objects scaled and everything. It can also be used for position changing, so you can just like click it and then just drag it anywhere. But I mostly use the W tool for changing the position because um, it's just more convenient for me, and I like the strictness of only having it on the x-axis and the y-axis. So yeah, cool stuff. All right, finally we got the craziest tool. We got the multi tool. That's why. That's why for it's a T by the way. T was the rectangle tool. Y is the multi tool. So it's got literally everything on it. It's got the rotation, the position change, and the scalar. You make it snap to grid. You can, yeah. There's a option to do that. We're not gonna be doing that in this meeting though, because I like to keep things on freeform. You can at least snap it to the grid though if you need to. 1 in 5 onto it. It's literally a 1 in 5 tool. Yeah, I've never really used the multi tool because I just seem as really cluttered. But if you feel like you can use the want to use the multi tool, then hey, go ahead. It's your workflow after all, right? Great, good stuff. That's Q. That's the QWRTY. I'll be going through all of these. This basically use these every like all the time. Like when you're changing object scale, position, size, like building out a scene, you're always going to be using this, right? Cool. Okay. Let's go over some cool parts about the sprite renderer real quick as well. So for example, so we have the sprite here, right? The sprite field. We also have the color. The color basically just gradients whatever color is on the square as of right now. So the square is completely white here, so it's not going to really show that there's going to be a tint. It's just going to change the entire color of it. If you want to make it red, it'll become instant red. That's like that's bleeding eye red. That's all red by Playboy Cardi. How about this kind of blue, like a moody blue? It's nice. It's a nice color. I like that. Does it fade too much in the background though? Yeah, it does. Let's see how the viewer, the player will see it like this though. So let's see, like this. This is a nice one. Wait, sorry. Mom came. All red, guys, listen to that. But yeah. So this is basically it's basically changing the color gradient. It's a huge wheel. We got the RGBA values. Let's go through that actually real quickly. R is the red value, how much red you want it to be. Green is how much green you want it to be. Blue is how much blue you want it to be. So if I want it to be super blue, not that green, kinda red, I can have like this color. You know? That's a good way of thinking about it. Each color goes up to 255. So if I do it all together, it's gonna be white. You know? And A is the alpha. Alpha is the transparency. So if I want to make it like slightly transparent, I can just set the alpha to a lower value. Uh, Hexadecimal is the hexadecimal color value. That's also like another number that dictates color. Yep, it's pretty good. Oh, color dropper is cool too. Obviously, it's a funny tool that allows you to like go through and just pick out a color on your screen. So if I want to make the green from the script, I can just do that. It's pretty neat as well. Right? This is a stupid thing. Okay. Um, let's see. All right, flip. Flip is not going to be very apparent right now since it's literally just a square. So it's going to be like equal on all sides. But this will basically flip it on X, Y's, and Y, Y's. Like just the sprite, not the actual rotation of it, but just how the sprite looks, right? It can be useful for like, let's say, like in a 2D platform. Let's say you're playing Mario and like, you know how Mario will look left and right depending on what key you pressed, or like in Hollow Knight, they'll always keep looking that way. You can basically flip the sprite renderer to flip in it the other way to make it see that way. Pretty cool. Draw mode. Don't need to cover that. Masks are pretty cool. Masks are like I can send a cool video about that later, but not really important right now. Ooh, order and layer is pretty important. Let's say I make a copy of the square. Oh, here's a really important keybind. Let's go. Let's go with this. So a cool keybind that I'm going to be using a lot is Control D. D stands for duplicate. So Control duplicate. Control D. If I select my game object and hit Control D, it's going to create a copy of it. So I got two Jareds now. Call him Jared 2. Yeah. And then let's Control C, Control V. It's gonna be a little bit slower though, right? That's why I like using Control D. Let's give Jared Mark 2 a different color. Let's say dark blue. Dark blue is pretty good. There can only be one. They're gonna fight. Boom, 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 boom. um, but yeah. So this Unity project ain't big enough for the two of us. All right. So a really important feature is the ordering layer. We have sorting layers, which can be like basically assigned to different types of sprites. To maybe I want to give all sprites with a certain sorting layer, like a color. I can do that through a script. But order layer basically dictates what comes before each other. So like for example, if I give Jared, the first Jared, the green Jared, if I give green Jared a higher order in layer than Jared Mark II, he's gonna be above Jared Mark II. If I give him a higher one than him, it's gonna be higher than that. It's just the layers that's on. If I make it there's also negative layers. So if we can go to negative layer, it's gonna be under it, right? So they can have they can have a contest of power. Who has the higher ordering layer? Who's going to be on top? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Put one inside the other. What does it do? Remember when I showed you guys my very first project? I actually had no idea what ordering layer even was. So everything was on ordering layer 0. So basically, they're on the same ordering layer, and they just literally flicker between each one. If they're on top of each other and have the same ordering layer. Yeah. So we don't want that, right? Okay. Cool. You got red and blue, it makes purple. If it's transparent, like, hey, let's see that. Let's see that. Red. Oh god, that's really bright red. Breaks my eyes. Okay. Let's make this slightly transparent. Oh, you see that? You see that? It made purple. do 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 do. Okay. Enough of that. Cool. Let's kill Jared Mark too. Let's restore him back to his regular colors. Jared, the original Jared went over Jared Mark too. It's over. The power struggle is over. Yeah. So mainly, what you want to take away from sprite renderers right now is the sprite color, the flip, and the ordering layer. That's about it. Cool, guys. Cool. Let's see. What about material? You can sort of give your sprites a certain texture if you want to. I don't really have any textures on me right now, but you could if you want to. I'm gonna give it the regular default texture. What is that? Sprite's default texture. I don't really, yeah, but if you want to, you could do that. Let's see. Cover next. Oh, of course. All right, we have 13 minutes. That's a fun thing we could do. Put party. Okay. Well, if we're gonna do put party at the very end, let's think of it. All right. I'm gonna have a little challenge for you guys. Okay. Using the QWERTY, all these options that you've learned today. Let's do a fun little thing. So using Control D as well, create a cool pattern with all the cubes and stuff. You can also create new sprites if you want. Just remember to create a sprite, go to create, go to where is it? Sprites, then go to over here. So you can create a circle or a capsule, any of these, a triangle, and just make some cool design. All right. I'm gonna look at my design as well. Rotate it this way. Let's see. Okay, well, let's have a little contest. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys till 6:55, so 7 minutes. It's 7 minutes to cook. Okay, these better be high quality. Just create a cool design. I don't like a bunch of squares and stuff, or triangles or whatever. Make a new. Hmm. Let's see. It could be like some abstract art stuff, you know. Okay. See here. I'm used the flip. Flip, remember? Oh, this is a triangle. This won't really work. All these are symmetrical. Learn it. I'll make this like slightly lighter, darker-ish. That's good. That's good. Um. Oh yeah. Pro tip: go if you go to the main camera, if you want to change the background color, like the skybox color, you can just go here and change the color like this. It's the same exact color changing thing as before. It's kind of like how you change the sprite color. What else is here? Some other fun things with the camera. Let's not touch that. Yeah. All right, I think that's basically everything. Yeah. You already covered size, right? I would choose the background color. Go to your camera and go to the skybox. Or like the solid color here. It's in the background area of the camera component. Right here. Got it enough? Deja vu. Is that a circle? You know what? You guys like circles. Let's have a circle in here. How much time? We got 5 minutes, guys. Cook. Keep cooking. I'm gonna make a funny. I'll make a silly one. Pretty long. Let's keep. Yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys cook as well. All right, you guys gotta do this as well. The contest. Whoever wins gets a special surprise. That will be announced after I see the best one. Okay. See if I can make this. It's a little bit smaller. Get like let's do like this. Perfect. That's good. Have one leg like that. Oh, like that. And like that. That's good. Okay. Cool stuff. Yeah, let's see what else I got cooking. You have 3 more minutes, guys. Come on. Go. Fast. Speed. Hmm. Let's see. I'm gonna add some abstract, like, pastel looking stuff to this, Let's see here. Um, hmm. Hmm. But like these two are like this. This is good. No, that's pretty bad. That's actually pretty bad. I don't like that. This is too much blends in the background. Hmm. Let's just copy paste a bunch of these now. I give up. I don't give up. I'm just saying it's an artistic choice. Trust. I need a new color. How about yellow? Whoa, you guessed the theme. No way. Now. Boom, boom. Down. All right, done. Where do we send? Send it in the chat here. Send in journal, actually. Journal. We got 1 more minute, guys. TikTok. Oh, 6:55. Okay, okay. Put them in journal right now. Or general. I'm saying journal, okay, because I'm in this server and like the general chat is called journal and I keep calling it journal now. Ugh, it's general, general. Okay. Alright, I'll put mine in general. Let's see this. You go to your game view and then screenshot it. Right? Let's see this. Anybody else? Hmm. Anybody else made one? Let's see it, see it. In the game view. Alright. Oh hi Oracle. Oracle. If somebody made Minecraft. That's cool. Emoji. Oh, that's actually a really good creeper. I like that a lot. Undertale logo. The Toby face. PVC. That's actually so cool. This is really cool, guys. Awesome. Good job. Great job. Mm, it's kind of hard to rate all of these now. I don't know what to pick. Hmm. I think all of you guys are very special and nice. How about that? A cool star. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so if you made a really it actually looks like pixel art. That's crazy. Undertale is hard carrying. That Toby face is pretty good. Is that the duck from Untitled Goose Game? Matthias. The pea shooter is also really cool. The zombie. Kind of a crazy team as well. That would be cool. Mm, good stuff, good stuff. Do, 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 do. So are there any more or are we good? I think that's everybody, right? Lots of cool ones. I like Justin's the Minecraft one as well. Pretty cool. The eyes are a little bit wacky though. What was Richard trying to spell? I'm very confused. Hmm. This is High Oracle. It's how you spell or that's like Oracle. Or like like Steve Urkel. Alright, cool. For today. Alright, so next time we're gonna be making our first mini project, like from start to finish, right? We're gonna be covering physics, collisions, and like we're gonna be making up our first script. It'll be really cool. So lots of cool stuff happening. Has anybody not had their IntelliSense working? Anybody? The IntelliSense. No clue what that is. It's like the Unity autocomplete. It's like when you're coding and like they'll like fill in like certain words for you. It makes coding like really, really fast. How can you check? To check, type the word like tra and then transform and then it's try to outcrypt it transform. If it does that, then you're set. If it's not, check the hashtag check bug fixing chat. Type it in the start method. Actually, let me just take a screenshot of what it should look like. Give me that. Give me 1 second. Yeah, actually, that's actually a good thing. I should have done that. Give me 1 second. Okay. So you guys look at bug fixing channel right now. You'll see that if I type in trans, the transform all these different sorts of stuff are gonna pop up. So if that's not happening for you, then you gotta fix that because it's gonna be way slower then. Trust me. I think. Wait, Jaden, you didn't have IntelliSense for a bit, right? You know what I mean. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, Jaden gets it. Then VS Code. Um, the tutorial I put in for is it VS Code? But if you have Visual Studio, it should already have IntelliSense. If your Visual Studio doesn't already have IntelliSense working for it, you might switch to VS Code because I have the whole tutorial built out for that. Is that in the past we've used Visual Studio because it has it built in like straight out the box. Um, but with this new Unity version, they added some plugins for Visual Studio inside the package manager, so it just makes it way smoother. It's cool stuff. Right. Um, yeah, I do want to get IntelliSense working for everybody before we start that though. So let's do that Let's do it real quick, okay? Then we'll do put party. Our priority is maintaining the agenda. Probably the only reason people come. It's got great game sense. All right. Does nobody need help with IntelliSense? If so, we're going to start put party. Do you need help? All right. I think they're also still working in the other PCs. So once they start, then if you don't need help, then that. Okay. I'm going to switch to my regular Discord now. If I did just kick you, not sure. All right. Rohan, what do you need help with? Let's go in order. Open that in the bug fixing channel. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about that, right? Right. Rohan, could you stream? Could you stream your screen? Let's go over that. All right. You can do C#. Go to your project and then right click inside there. Inside the project. You know like how we made the square? It's kind of the same idea. So go inside the project folder.
Wait, where's the project folder?
Yeah, you're in it right now. Like the empty.
This thing, right?
Yeah, there you go. Then go to create.
Wait,
And then go to C# script up there.
this one?
Yep. All right. Then name it something good. Make sure it's a capital letter at the start. Okay. Right click. Double click it. All right. So it's gonna open up a Visual Studio. So let's see what this works. Allow it. Now type in trans in the start method.
Where's
So
the start method?
On line 10. So inside there. I'll go over this next time, but yeah.
Right.
On line 10. Line 10.
Oh, this. Sorry.
TRA. All right, yeah, yours is good. Yep, you're
Okay.
set. Cool. Who else needs help? Saif, do you need help? Okay. What do you need help with? Yeah, I just had the same thing. I followed the same steps but missed the end. Oh, so you got it though, right? Is it doing it properly? The IntelliSense? They're watching Subway Surfers gameplay in the other VC. Okay. Can I share my screen? Yeah, sure. Share screen. So let's do this last minute stuff, then I'll like officially end the meeting, and then we'll do the put party, all right? Stream's not loading right now for me. I don't see it. Oh no, this is where it's working now. It's working now. Okay. All right. I think your project is open. Let's open up a C# script, all right? So go to Unity editor. All right. Double click temporary. I see. Okay. Go to your assembly C#. You see like the little arrow on the right? Oh, back in Visual Studio. Oh, you have two Visual Studio windows open. You saw that? Close one of them. All right. Open. You see the arrow on the right next to assembly C# unloaded? Open that. Okay, that's interesting. All right, here's what we're gonna do instead then. Close this. Open up Visual Studio by itself. Then open a local folder. Then find your Unity project. Can you find it? You know where you put it, right? We just made this today. It should be, we already put it. Or if you don't know where you put it, you could probably just check your Unity Hub and it'll be there. Yep, cool. Go to your assets, scenes. Oh, why is there no script in there? It's interesting. Go back. See, there should be the circle and stuff in your assets folder too, but it's not there. Try restarting your Unity scene or Unity project. Save that. Yeah, you might have to save as well. It's true, but saving shouldn't affect like, seeing the circle and stuff. All right, yeah. Open up the assets folder though. Just the assets folder, like as a whole, not just the scene folder. Yeah, select that folder. Yeah, that one. So press the select folder button. Hmm. Oh, okay. They started put party in the other VC, so if you're done with IntelliSense, then you can go to meeting VC too. All right. Is it still loading? All right, let's try VS Code then. Let's go on Visual Studio. Yeah, so close Visual Studio. Let's download Visual Studio Code. From where? From the website. Not from Unity, from the Visual Studio Code website. Yep. Download that. Make sure to download Windows. Okay. Set up. Just go through all that real quick. It's pretty lightweight compared to Visual Studio, so it should be pretty fast. Yep. Yes. Yes. Install it. Gotta eat dinner. That's CJ.